Welcome to EJH Bruce Cars. So I picked up a new tool the other day. I thought we'd kind of go over it, see how it works. Not used one of these kind of tools. It's actually a DLTool brake line flaring kit or a tubing flaring kit. And of course, I've got a double flaring tool that I've had forever. I mean, I literally bought it in about 1974. Uh, and it's worked fine, but this seems to be much faster. I saw it on the internet, a couple of different guys using it. I thought it'd be kind of nice to have. So this is a brake line flaring toolkit for 45-degree single, double, and bubble flares. Split dies 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, and 3/8, and 4.75 millimeters. So let's go take a look at it. So here's the kit. Comes in a nice molded plastic case. And this is it. I kind of like this. This is kind of nice. It's got its own little small cutoff tool, which is really handy in tight places. And that snaps right into the cap. And then this is it. So this is the main tool, the handle for it, and then a series of dies, which are quite clearly marked. Now, here's a piece of tubing that's crimped onto a piece of threaded rod from the demonstration we just did with the hydraulic crimping tool. So let's cut this end off. So we just fit that. So it'll slide onto here. And we'll keep tightening as we go. And note that is turning a little hard. I need to oil this a little bit. So I put a little oil on the threads and well the ways up a little bit, and that helped a lot. Though it's still a little hard. I suppose if this wheel could have been a slightly bigger diameter, but it'll be okay. So I just took a little bit of time and I greased these eccentric cams. I put a little oil on these pivots, put a little grease on those slides. It also has a mounting tab to go into your vise, like so. And nice and tight. The handle goes into the back like that. So this actually will lift off here. It's got a spring-loaded ball on this side. So this is the flat. You'll see that there's two orange ones, which is 3/16 1/4, 5/16, and 3/8, and those are for single flares. You can see they're just tapered. Then there are one for each of the other sizes. So it's 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, and 45 millimeters. All right, so pull this pin back, open that up. We have a piece of 3/16 Cooper nickel line. You pick out a piece of 3/16 block, and you can see this has got a 45-degree end and a 90-degree end, so we're going to be using the 45. Not quite sure what the 90 for. Maybe that's for if you're just doing a bubble flare. I put that in, rotate this around to the flat one, put the pipe in, the tubing, and put it past the end of the block. And then if you'll notice, this has a little bump there and a hole there, so you can only fit it around the correct way, which lines up so you get the two 90-degree ends together and stuff. Put that clamp back in, just a tiny bit of snug. Pull that down so that's pushed the end of this pipe square with the end of the block, and then we tighten this down all the way. It doesn't have to be too crazy tight. Then we pick the green die for 3/16 and compress till it stops.
and that's made of bubble die. Now, if we were going to do a double flare, we'd go to the next die and do it, but we're going to take this apart so you can see it. So back that off, pull that pin, get the clamp out of the way. You'll notice that's on there pretty good, but a little tap on the edge of the vise knocks that free pretty readily. Back in there. So that's a pretty nice bubble flare right there. And we'll put that back in, put it so it's tight up against the 45 in the block. Put that back in. Like I say, if you were doing a double flare, I wouldn't have taken this apart, but I just wanted to show you guys what it looked like. And then we'll snug this up. I'm just pulling that snug, tighten that down. We rotate this around to the orange colored dies, which are the 45-degree tapers. 3/16, line that up until it stops, and undo the clamp. And there we go. There's a pretty nice double flare on that one. And that's it. So if I was just doing one piece of pipe, I would be tempted to use my old device, because to set this one up takes a little bit longer. But if you're going to do 4 or 5, this would be a lot faster, particularly if you're doing multiple sizes, because you can just rotate this head. And I did try it on a piece of 3/8. And this, the only time I've ever seen 3/8 used is for fuel line. And it did a pretty nice double flare on that. When I did the bubble flare, it sort of had a little ridge on the top. I'm not sure why, but you could just file that off, so it'd be okay. Like I say, this is typically fuel line, so 3/16 is a typical brake line. You might have 1/4 inch from a reservoir or something like that. So pretty easy to use. It's a lot easier. It definitely needed to be lubricated to work properly. And it seems like a pretty decent bit of kit. This handle could have been a bit longer. It takes, particularly the 3/8 line, when you're starting the bubble flare, so you're starting from the square end of pipe, it takes a lot of force to start that moving. It did talk about putting some anti-seize on the end of the lines, which I didn't do. I don't think that would make it any easier. I think the problem is when you first start pushing this, and that's just straight, it has to push it hard enough to make the line pop out, and then once it starts moving, it gets easier. So anyway, fairly easy to set up. This cutoff tool is a bit disappointing. This is my Harbor Freight, I think. This thing works a champ. And the only real difference, because it looks like they got basically the same design, same threads per inch and all that. The big difference I see on this is the sliding piece on this has the ears that fit into these slots, whereas this one, the sliding piece, has slots that fit into these ears. And I think what's happening is when that pushes back like that, it's jamming this on the rails, because it is unbelievably hard to turn. They definitely have to use a little piece of rag. This one has always seemed quite easy, and it is smaller in diameter. And that's the big difference that I see. You can probably see that when you look at that. You see that this body has notches, whereas this body has rails. So, and if you look, the sliding device on this is quite long. And this one is much shorter, and I think that's what it is. It's just, it's just pushing that sideways and it's just wedging it in. So it might get better with some use. I don't know. It's not that it's not usable. I mean, the blade's nice and tight, nice and sharp, and it did well as far as all that. Like I say, I was just surprised that I couldn't turn it, particularly I put a bit of oil on it, which helps, but then I had a little bit of oil on my fingers and I couldn't turn it without using a rag. And this is pretty inexpensive for Harbor Freight. It's a few dollars. This is 1/16 to 5/8 OD, so it's a pretty good range. And of course, you know, your bigger conventional cutters, which if you're just doing it on the bench would be the way to do it anyway, but these are really handy if you're just trying to fit an end on a brake line that's in the car and you got a little, not very much room to maneuver. Looks like it's all steel and it looks like it's plated, bit of chrome. So I mean, it's plenty heavy duty. I could say that I was surprised how much effort it took to pull that arm. That my old style one, you know, the first couple of cranks, this always a bit harder, but it's got a handle about this big. 2 bars that clamp together that holds the end. This piece slides over, and this is what's driving the dies. So this is, you know, it's not terribly long, but boy, it sure seems to work a little bit easier than this. But this is, you know, if you're doing multiple flares, this would be a lot faster. Particularly this whole thing here. That is so much easier. Anyway, I digress. So put my toys away. Very nice molded box. I really like that.
It took a bit more effort to use than I expected it to, but it did a pretty good job. It struggled a little bit, particularly on the larger pipe, the 3/8, but you don't hardly ever use 3/8 line. Certainly the 5/16 Cooper nickel worked on that super nice. I really like Cooper nickel lines. They're just so much easier to work with. Uh, you know, they don't rust and it's all good. And my best Vanna White impersonation. Hope you enjoyed this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you next time.